Hey everybody, I have something different today. This is actually a little package I got from a friend of mine named Daniel. Link is in the description below to his channel. He does the type of music I usually play in the background of my videos. He makes music on his channels, and that's the same type of music I usually make, that I usually put on my videos such as this one. So the music that you are hearing right now in the background is music that he composed himself. I'll be also making some future music on my own, collaborating with him, just to change it up a bit. Stay tuned for that, of course, but definitely check out his channel and his music. So he had this Nintendo DS Lite here for a long time. I'm talking he got this thing on the day that the DS Lite was first announced. He had this thing for many years, since middle school. And yeah, I don't remember exactly the year when this came out. Let me see if it shows it on here. Just give me a second. Wow, yeah, so 2006. He's had this since, 2006. But it looks a little grimy after the years of usage, but I gotta say, he has kept this system in really good condition. I gotta say, I'm really surprised on how well he's kept it. It does look grimy though, years of use. There is a crack on the hinge, so he just wanted to give it a new lease in life. He wanted me to swap this shell out for him, as I have swapped out DS Lite shells in the past. So he sent me this new shell, and he wanted me to open this up for him. He said he wasn't too happy with this type of green shell. He kind of picked this one, even though he didn't like this particular green. I'll definitely be getting started with this, but without further delay, let's go ahead and get started with doing this shell swap. Okay, so I have my Phillips head screwdriver as well as the tri-wing screwdriver. I like these because it says on the side what they are. We're first going to be taking out several screws, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 underneath the battery cover, of course. And then this one right here would be the 8th one. That's the one that'll actually stay with the battery cover. So what you're going to want to do is make sure to take out any games you may have in there, which there's none in there right now. Take out the stylus, set it to the side. Take out the slot, set that to the side. That's for the Game Boy Advance games. And let's begin. Alright, so after looking at it, looks like you'll be using the Phillips head screwdriver for these two screws right here underneath the rubber pads, as well as the battery cover. Every other screw you'll be using the tri-wing screwdriver. Okay, so that was a pain in the butt, but I ended up using a flathead screwdriver. I recommend, of course, if you're taking apart a DS Lite that hasn't been taken apart in many years, just go up here at the top where you see those like slits, like type areas, and use a flathead screwdriver to pop it out. I was actually slightly incorrect. Be one extra screw to take out, and both of these are Phillips head. So now that we have all these screws off of here, what you're going to want to do is just look at the side. It should start popping off. If it's giving you some problems, use either a spudger, or you can use your fingernails and do it like that, or a flathead screwdriver. And you want to carefully just take that off There's no ribbon cable connecting to the back of this like a DSi, so there's nothing to worry about. You're going to want to just set that to the side. And now we're going to be working on this area. Do not take off the L and R buttons so quickly. Be careful as you do this because there are hinges here, like little springs, as well as these metal rods that keep them inside. They're extremely annoying and they can easily be lost forever. So I recommend just carefully take them out while holding it right here. Just try to keep it all together. And there we go. So now, for starters, I recommend taking this here. Just carefully lift it up. Yeah, carefully take it off the board. It is a little sticky pad here, so don't worry about taking that off. Just be careful with the wire here. You can use a flathead screwdriver, basically the same one that you used earlier to take out the battery. Lift that piece up here. There we go. Just remember that the black wire with that little metal piece at the end goes into this. Now you can also release this one here, the white cable. At this point, you may want to take a picture of this to remind yourself later on. Me, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've done this before years ago. I highly recommend being also careful at the same time with that ribbon cable there. That is very small, tiny, and that is for the touchscreen. You're going to want to carefully fish the black wire underneath. With a little bit of fiddling around, you should be able to get this underneath, and you're going to want to take off some more screws here. Then what I would recommend is opening up the DS itself like normal, and just put your finger through here where the touchscreen is. Kind of just carefully lift it up, kind of like a book. Be mindful of the ribbon cable here that connects to the screen on the top, as well as the ribbon cable here for the touchscreen. And there are several other ribbon cables down here, like I believe one more or so, for the actual bottom screen. So just be a little bit careful. Okay, so at this moment you can take out the rubber pads as well as the buttons. So I recommend taking out the rubber pads first. All the buttons should fall out. And here we have the bottom board. Now, unless you are replacing this bottom screen, I recommend just keeping it attached to the bottom board. The only thing you're going to want to disconnect here is the top screen. You're going to want to lift this tab up. Once it is lifted up like so, all you got to do is just pull it out carefully. Then you can set this to the side, and now we are halfway done. You can take your Phillips head screwdriver, take out these two screws here. So now what you want to do is just carefully, once you have done that, it's as simple as fishing through this ribbon cable through that slit right there. So just be very careful. And if you did this correctly, you should be able to get that ribbon cable through with no problems, just like so. And then the actual wires. Now it's completely free from the bottom part of the shell. Next up, we're going to take apart the top screen area. So now you're going to recommend using something really small, really flat. I'm using a SIM card tool removal. Okay, so I actually needed something a lot smaller and a lot sharper, and I got the smallest possible flathead screw bit here. So that's how I was able to take these out. These are Phillips head screws. Okay, so once you have all those screws out, all you need to do is just hold it like this. You're going to place your thumb right here, push it forward while holding it, and then you're just going to want to slide it all the way forward. Kind of hold it like this, grab it, and then just carefully lift it off. And there we go. Now, time to mess around with this thing here. First, I'd like to recommend taking out this hinge here. So definitely hold on to this. Okay, once you lift up all that tape, you can basically take out all these wires. Now carefully, from the back here, you're going to push this forward. You may need to warp the case just a little bit. It's going to be stuck there, but don't be afraid. You can easily take this out. Just be as careful as possible. Okay, so I recommend taking out these wires first. It'll be a lot easier for you in the long run when it comes to taking out the ribbon cable. Twist it just enough to get through this metal ring. Just like so, as long as it looks like this, you'll be fine. Your screen will still work. Just make sure you do not crease it. And we have fully disassembled the DS Lite. It looks like it has pretty much the majority of what it needs. So what we're basically gonna do is everything but backwards. Okay, so a lot went on unrecorded, only because I got frustrated, but this is the finished product here. Basically what I had to do off camera was I had to attempt several times to try to take this white border off of the bottom touchscreen to put the newer like green border, if that makes sense, but for some reason it just wouldn't come off for the life of me, and I didn't feel like ordering another touchscreen, so I didn't want to damage it, so I left it the way it was. It still works perfectly fine. Also, for some weird reason, the green buttons, including specifically the start and select buttons, were very mushy, and sometimes they wouldn't even press at all, and it was quite annoying. It wasn't made correctly, so I had to keep the original white buttons. So I'm hoping my friend Daniel's okay with this. And also, which is really weird that I notice now more that I look at it, is that the green cover up here is a different color than the rest of this, and that kind of bothers me a bit, but it seems to be working. And we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. And I'll basically show you that it's working. Alright, so I'm going to actually go ahead and do this stuff off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so first we're gonna go ahead and start up the Game Boy Advance game. Okay, so it looks like he has it set up to the top screen. Okay, so it looks like all the buttons are working properly, which is fantastic. So now I'm gonna go ahead and bring up a game that requires you to use the touchscreen. Everything looks good. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please thumbs it up. I would greatly appreciate it before you leave. If you have watched the video up until this point, please go ahead and leave it a thumbs up. It would greatly help me out significantly. Share it with your friends or with any Reddit's pages, gaming related pages that you follow, and comment below if you have any suggestions. Subscribe to see more videos, and hit that bell icon if you want to be the first to see my content pop up. And I do apologize for my gun viewers if you're watching this video right now. I will be uploading more gun related content. I believe I'll be uploading a everyday carry video sooner or later. It's just sometimes making those type of videos can be expensive, so I don't make them as often as I'd like to. But I'm gonna try my best to make related videos like that, even informative videos, at least once a month or even twice a month, depends on how much content I can come up with. But I will be getting on top of that more. Of course, guys, if you don't like this video, thumbs it down. If you hate it for any reason and you do thumbs it down, please comment below, let me know why. And thank you guys once again so much for watching. I hope this helped out, and I do apologize if you attempted this and broke anything. I am not responsible in any way, shape, or form of replacing your DS. You do this at your own risk. Thanks once again for watching. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world.